Let's start today by bringing on the stage Bob. And Bob Walker is our Vice President for Customer Service and Experience. And Bob, over to you.
My name is Bob Walker, Vice President of Customer Experience. Earlier, I think you heard Brian and Spence say they are brand new to Aspect. Well, I'm not brand new. I've been here 13 years. You might have guessed that by my gray hair and my white beard now, that I've been here 13 years. It's kind of like you. We work so fast, so long. It's almost like living in dog years. You go 7 years in 1 year, it seems like. So for me, I've been traveling to India since 2002. And I know many of you in this room. I've met you and realize how fast everything moves here and how dynamic things are. I've been here probably 25 times since 2002. So I have a great appreciation for your challenges, your opportunities. It's given me the opportunity to provide feedback into our corporate processes, how we do things, how we can serve this market better. And so today, I'll be talking about, well, the title of the presentation is Your Satisfaction is Key to Our Success. I'd like to change that just a little bit because to me, satisfaction is important to us. I'm not saying it's not. However, your loyalty is even more important to us than satisfaction because in a relationship that we have with you, satisfaction is at a given point in time. So at one point in time, you might say, my implementation went great, built some great value, we just added a new customized application, it's bringing new great value to you, you're satisfied with us. Then maybe there's a financial transaction 3 months from now, a billing issue, you're not so satisfied. But a relationship of loyalty is a value-based relationship. We invest in you, you invest in us, and we both gain mutual value from that. So to me, a relationship of loyalty is really what we aspire to have. And so this morning, I see the faithful few in the room, the loyal customers in the room, the ones who made it at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I appreciate that. So today I'm going to be giving you a little bit of a behind-the-scenes tour of Aspect. You've heard about social, you've heard about our great products, our new capabilities, and so on. I'll be talking a little bit more about how we're investing behind the scenes that help you with your customer experience with Aspect in doing day-to-day business, because that's my focus. Is I'm not in sales. It's to make sure that we provide you the tools and the capabilities to get the most out of Aspect. So I'll be talking today about our investments in research and development, in our support services, our education investments, as well as investments here locally. So to start, just a quick overview. All of our support centers are co-located with our research and development centers around the world. And just a quick little tidbit, our Bangalore center is our largest R&D engineering and support center in the world. By far. It is our biggest investment, and it's been that way for a number of years, and we've continued to invest more and more into our Bangalore Center. Serene is here with us today as the Director of Support Services for all of APAC, and certainly his work is to provide you the highest quality support services possible. So to start with, in 2011, Q4, we took an external audit on research and development to understand how are we delivering our services. And an audit, as you know, is kind of like going to the dentist and getting your teeth pulled. You know, it's a painful experience at times. So many documentations, so many things you have to look at, compliance issues, how do we deliver software, how do we store our source code, what do we do? But part of the key output from that was to help guide us in our investments and to help us to become Carnegie Mellon certified by 2013 in our development cycle. So the result of this audit, as well as our own internal initiatives, at a time when companies are cutting back on budgets, at a time when companies aren't spending money, we increased our R&D budget by 25%, a very dramatic investment in you as our customers. Some of it was to give you the new great products like you're seeing today, but a lot of it had to do with benchmarking, with quality assurance, with our labs, a 25% headcount increase mixed between new development as well as the more mundane things of QA and benchmarking. We established new design centers. For example, our whole focus is to provide the highest quality products that you can see on the market. In Dalian, China, for example, we added R&D capability there because we had previously outsourced localization of our product, to Chinese and to Japanese languages. So we insourced that as part of our investment. And so our investment doesn't stop in 2012. We continue to invest in 2013. We have an additional 10% headcount increase in R&D for this year also. And we're well on our way, by the way. The audit results were very positive overall. One of the areas we had to invest in was quality assurance, automation. Now, I don't want you to think we didn't run quality assurance, but no R&D organization can do that. But one of the primary investments was around the automation efforts in quality assurance. So by the end of 2012, we'd established an 80-person team to run our QA programs. And by the time TigerShark was released, that's Unified IP 7.1, by the time it was released, 15% of all of our QA efforts were automated, giving us more and more regression testing, more and more cycles to go through to ensure that when we release the product, it is the highest quality. We have a dedicated team that does nothing but invest in our automation tools and in our QA tools. So once again, this is behind the scenes stuff to ensure that we're releasing the products that meet your business needs and are up to the quality that you're looking for. Additional investments in benchmarking, and this was key, and some of it had to do with our experience here in India. So for example, we've always published our specifications of our products. However, the change in benchmarking in 2012 was that we brought it together in one team. We've invested in our labs, so we can build up to a 15,000 simulated agent configuration. Now, what I don't want you to do is walk away from here and maybe tell Sachin or somebody that, hey, Bob said I can put 15,000 agents on my one system and we're all good. Okay, I'm not saying that at all. It is a simulated environment. We've invested in virtualization labs. We have VMware. We have Hyperlink from or Hyper-V from Microsoft. And so this allowed us to benchmark in a way that you use the product. And that was a significant change in 2012. We've taken some of your environments. For example, one of the customers here in India is a large inbound customer on our version 6 product. They built an 18,000 node IVR, multiple languages, all sorts of functions. Well, I wouldn't say it was the most efficient IVR I've ever seen in my life, but it stretched the limits of our product. So we took that IVR script. We consulted with the customer to make it more efficient, but we took their IVR scripts and put them into our benchmarking labs to test the limits, to push it as far as it would go, to see how we could eliminate any bottlenecks, so that when TigerShark was released, that's one of the first proof points was to test this. We have other customers that use advanced list management, and one of our customers was pushing the top-end limits of our capabilities for dialing, 280 dials per second. So we had to take this into our benchmarking labs for the TigerShark release. So once again, that is our investment in you for your satisfaction, but also to hopefully help you understand that we are very dedicated and devoted to improving your experience after the sale. That's really what we're talking about here. So what are some of the proof points of our results from our efforts? We've had a very high and rapid adoption rate of TigerShark. Now we have 142 projects for TigerShark. Now that can be a little bit misleading. How many are live? How many are in production? What are we doing today? Currently we have 62 systems that are in production, from small all the way up to 700 agents. And you can see the distribution is around the world. For example, in APAC, not all 31 are in production today. We have about a dozen in APAC that are in production today of TigerShark. And still, this number is growing. In fact, it's a little over 160 now in March. So rapid adoption of TigerShark, great customer experience. And let me talk about the proof points here. We always, like an automobile manufacturer, what's your initial quality? How did it come out as compared to earlier versions and so on? So in this case, TigerShark versus its predecessor, 7.0.1, we've seen some dramatic improvements. 50% reduction in cases per system. And that's not on a small sample size. You saw that we have 140 some odd systems now. A 70% reduction in defects per system and a 44% improvement in time to resolution. That directly impacts your experience with our product. It helps you to focus on the value type, like you've talked about, the things you're doing, the enhanced things in the way you're working your experience with your customer. So we've had great results so far. We're not perfect yet, okay? So I don't know of any vendors that are perfect. Have any of you ever seen a perfect vendor yet or a supplier? Maybe not. I don't think so. But we are certainly committed to quality. We're committed to providing high-quality products to you. So a next area of investment is our support organization, if you will, Aspect Technical Services. And Cameron will cover a little bit more of the value of that later on, but just some quick facts. We use TigerShark to do global routing. We have support centers all throughout the world that I showed you. And so we use IP&IQ for skills-based routing. We use Follow the Sun routing. And Bangalore is our only 24/7 support center in the world. So they provide after-hours support for the rest of the world. But it's in a very defined fashion that we use TigerShark for this. One differentiator, a couple years ago, and we talked about the customer experience, many support operations are package and escalate. What I mean by that is you call in, you get your first level analyst, and since we're working in a technology world, it can be a very complex problem we're working on. They then take that, package it up, send it to the next level. And within that context, you'll find that sometimes you lose something along the way on that transfer to second level or third level. You might have to ask the same questions again. But we really believe in accountability and ownership. It's something that we work with our support managers on so that when you call and speak to a specific support analyst, that person will stay with the case from very beginning to end, do all the work to engage whoever's necessary to solve your problem. Now, I had a gentleman yesterday from Asian Paints ask me about, do we do Net Promoter Score? What do we do to measure our satisfaction? Well, in our support organization, we have an external firm that takes, is it 15% of our cases, Serene? They randomly take 15% of our cases, call our customers, and to find out what is our support experience on that specific transaction, that specific interaction. And on a scale of 5, we average 4.4 on a scale of 5 for the last couple of years. I think we're 4.2 2 years ago. We've moved up a little bit. But not only is it, okay, you get a number, fine, okay, I talked earlier about satisfaction at a point in time. We need to know that, how we're interacting with you, but even more important is that we get comments from our customers. And if we get any kind of a negative comment or positive comment, we'll send it to that support manager, and that support manager will then say, is responsible to go back to that customer to address whatever they were concerned about. So it's not just a number, we just go on and do nothing about it. So we want to be better. You know, one of our guiding principles at Aspect is continuous improvement. And so we've hired an external firm, TSIA, to audit our support organization. Much like we talked about auditing our R&D organization, we're now in the middle of an audit that we started in January to benchmark us against the best providers of support services in the world that are similar to us. And our aspiration is very simple. We want to be able to trade as true best-in-class customer experience. You don't get there for free. You have to invest. Just like we invested in R&D, and I've talked about that, we're investing in our support organization also. We believe we provide great value-added services today, but we aspire to be best in class, to give you that great customer experience. Some of the investments, Aspect Social, you guys have heard about that so much, it's kind of a buzz of ACE here in Goa. We are starting, as of last month, we're doing monitoring and we'll do engagement over the course of this year in Aspect Social. So we use our own products heavily. We use Workforce Optimization, we use TigerShark. Now we're engaging in Aspect Social so that we're exercising our own products and getting the value out of the products for our own support centers. Next Generation Contact Center, Navigator. In support today, we have metrics. You have to measure a support center. How are you doing? What's your customer experience? What are your efficiencies? And today, we have several tools to measure with. Next Generation Contact Center allows us to centralize that into one live portal. We'll be integrating with TigerShark and Microsoft SharePoint to give us a real-time dashboard and historical dashboard on two fronts. Because for us, cost is cost. So we'll be measuring our efficiencies. How is our efficiency, once again, going back to the audit compared to other industries? And then what is our customer experience? So this allows us to measure and improve for our aspiration. Our knowledge base, admittedly, is legacy. It's a little bit old. It's a little bit less value than we would expect. So we'll be replacing our knowledge base for your use this year. Aspect User Community. Rumor has it you've seen this slide a few times. But I want to add a little bit of context to this. Think of this as a private social community where you can collaborate and communicate. You log in, you have your credentials, your user ID and password.